It's movie time, and we're back again with movie time. Hey, everybody! Happy Wednesday, movie time, and I hope that you had a fabulous weekend. And for all of us who are going to be having an early movie time on Friday, just to let you know ahead in advance. But I'm your host Jason, and then with me is my co-host Arpo. Hey, Arpo, how you doing?
Hey, I am doing just fine. My goodness, it's been almost 2 weeks since WC vanished, and I must say it's been so nice and peaceful around here. But as you can see, Maxine has packed her bag and
Yes.
has taken my car keys to go and look for what? Give me those! You don't even have a driver's license.
Cool. And also with us tonight, back again, reunited, and it feels so good. It's Olaf. Hey, Olaf, how you
Hey,
doing?
I
We're,
am doing just fantastic. Yeah, another lovely hot day in the great state of Indiana. So
excellent.
always fun, and I just love the heat, and that the my air conditioner in my truck broke. So
Woohoo!
I've been able to really enjoy the last couple 3 weeks of this blistering heat while I'm at work. So I
Wow.
love it. I love it. I love it. Bit of good news. It's like Monday. I was like went back to my eye doctor, and the surgery I had has healed well. I and my eyes are doing wonderfully well. So I don't have to go back for a couple of months. Yay!
Excellent.
Yes, and if it makes you feel any better, our good mutual friend Catherine Swan, who we interviewed on this very show a few months ago,
Hmm.
was telling me that not only is it 90 degrees in Chicago and they have no air conditioning, but they can't open the windows either because the cats broke all the screens jumping through the windows.
Yes. They tried to commit Harry Carey.
Yes. So she's in a sealed house with no air conditioning in 90-degree heat.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Because at least with the truck,
And
I can roll the
not
windows
even a
down.
chance of a breeze.
Yeah. Well, at least with the truck, I can roll the windows down, and it's not too bad when you're moving. But when you stop, oh my goodness, it's like an oven. And
Yeah.
being as I work in construction, I'm out in the sun all day long. So once I get stopped, I'm in the heat. So
Yikes.
it's always fun.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like it's a blast.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a heat wave. I'm telling you.
Oh, it's like I definitely want to be there. And tonight on Movie Time, we have back with us as our team our three incredibly fun stories. So let's get started also on our first story, which is a follow up to our Friday Movie Time episode. If you remember on Friday, we were talking about a major lawsuit dealing with a director and or former director Farhad Safania, who actually was suing this production, Voltage Pictures, and Mel Gibson's company, to stop the to stop the release of this movie, claiming that he actually never signed away the rights to the actual movie, and he was kicked off, and he was set aside as the director. So, Olaf, you and I talked about this one. Wasn't this one fun?
Yes, it was. It was a very interesting article.
Well,
Yeah.
my first question on this now. This is a movie starring Mel Gibson and Sean Penn called The Professor and the Madman.
Hmm.
Correct.
I'm not sure which one of them is the professor. Shouldn't it be the madman and the really madman?
It really
Uh,
should be, or
the
the anti-Semite, the madman.
or the
something. I mean, my God.
madman and the the Madman and the Matterman.
Yes. So now this case is obviously going to, speaking of mad, get even more hairy, because now we have the flip side to this one. Mel Gibson, movie producer, moves to stop director's bogus bid to halt the distribution. So both he and Nicholas Charter of Voltage Pictures hit back at Stefania, saying he's misled the court and the Copyright Office by omitting their certificate of authorship as co-writers. So, once again, who had the bad lawyering, as we had mentioned on Friday? Because now this just gets even more sucky in terms of lawyering, of who forgot to check the certificate of authorship. Like, one of the very first things you have when you have to do tax credit paperwork is they ask you for your chains of title and your affidavits of authorship.
Yes.
So,
welcome to right here. Yes. This is what they asked for.
Yes. Welcome to lesson 101 of why we do this. So, going on to through this article. So let's see. The film's based on Simon Winchester's book of the same name and the Oxford English Language Dictionary. So it's like, so basically in this movie, Gibson's production company is sued for the complaints against Voltage Pictures in the giant independent world in the past for past films like Dallas Buyers Club and other things. So basically, Stefania has filed a suit, as we said earlier, claiming that he never did, give them the copyrights. Well, they are basically saying now he misled them. They believe that they had these copyrights, and he never mentioned co-writers in this whole matter. And it's like, sometimes the defendants don't get a chance to respond to a TRO motion, but probably thanks to the publicity surrounding this one, Voltage has now quickly filed down its own opposition brief, lest the $25 million of the film brought to a grinding halt. Now, if Voltage Pictures wins this one, as well as also Stefania, as well as also Mel Gibson, this is now a really entangled three-way lawsuit.
Well, now it's like in there it was talking like the $25 million, I guess, is what it has cost to make this.
Yes.
And the original budget was $2.5 million.
Yes.
So the picture is already way over budget.
Yes.
And gone into overtime.
Yep.
So if it was only supposed to cost 2.5 and now they moved the decimal point to 25 and it's still not done, doesn't look good.
Well, it's done, and it's going to need to be distributed, and this is only going to get hairier in this case. It's like they said, go on.
The way I'm reading this is Mel Gibson is part of the problem.
Yes.
Now, I mean, he actually sided with Stefania about moving a key shot from the library of Trinity College in Ireland to Oxford.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is something they've been working on for months. There was 200 extras involved, and they canceled at the last minute, so all the extras had to be paid. It, adding another over $1 million to the budget. It's like, what?
Yeah. Now,
I think we know who the madman is now.
Okay. We also understand another thing, that this even gets even more complicated when you're adding Voltage into this. Who said his reaction is that it doesn't control rights. Voltage states that Stefania signed an ambiguous certificate of authorship that provides the work for the film. So he was basically also a work for hire. Then in the same thing of this, that it's also saying the attempt to circumvent the COA. The plaintiff misrepresents to the court on September 14th that the script is a new screenplay that is solely authored. which is somehow outside the scope of the work for hire agreement that he made.
But
So,
and now correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah,
This is a screenplay based on an existing work.
correct, by Simon Winchester.
Yes. Isn't that kind of automatically a work for hire
Not necessarily,
by
because
definition? Because you already have.
no, it's a derivative of an adaptation of a work.
Right, it's an adaptation of a work, but the point is, the heavy lifting has been done.
Yes, but
So
apparently, Stefania kind of forgot somebody in this, like Todd Kormanicki and John Borman,
how do you
perhaps, who aren't
forget
listed.
John Borman?
I
I
know
mean,
who. Basically, they're listed as co-writers on the final shooting script. So really, it's like, okay, it comes down to the if you're a co-writer and you signed off on it, it's like Kormanicki is listed also as the first writer. See, now this is also very important in terms of WGA law.
yeah,
Who is written at the top is really okay, even though you co-wrote and you both own the rights to it. It's like him being first man, he's given credit for it.
yeah.
It still
Technically,
remains his property.
it's Kormanicki's script
Yes.
because his is the first name.
Yes. Just like when we wrote another screenplay that is being produced, yeah, it will always be listed as that writer at the top.
Yeah.
Because it was their originating idea, and in this particular case, the same sort of thing. So, needless to say, that this case is going to turn us on our ears for a long period of time. And once again, I am really begging a lawyer to come aboard with this, because there's been several of these kind of cases between this and the Darabont one and a couple of the other ones that we've talked about. It's like, really, my eyes are going cross-eyed buggy to understand the answer for this.
Well, this one just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's.
Yep.
I mean,
What is it they're trying? It's like they're also. It's like they're trying to calculate a fraud on the Copyright Office
Yeah.
because they didn't
yeah,
do something, or there was Copyright Office listing himself. Yeah, it's just this is crazy.
Yeah, this gets convoluted, and an update as of the 22nd is the judges denied the motion of the TRO in order for the U.S. District Court to be able to see to nods to the defendant's presentation of the work for hire agreement, and writes Stefania has failed to show a likelihood of success on the merits. And the judge also concludes that Stefania has failed to provide sufficient evidence that will suffer harm simply because he identified as the screenwriter and director of the film. Well, right now that means that this is going to get very hairy very quickly. And
Yes.
I still go back to our argument that we were talking about, like our discussion we were talking about on Friday, Olaf, you and I, about lazy lawyering. Who
Right.
dropped the ball on this? Who did not check the Copyright Office? Who did not? It's like, who forgot the rules? Can we?
Somebody said, "Oh yeah, we got that." It's like, yeah, oh, we're ready to go. Yep, we got that. We got that. We got that. That's all covered. I got it. I took care of that last week. It's all good
Yeah,
to go.
yeah,
And
it's
then it's like,
mhm.
oops. Oh wait,
no,
it's still in my briefcase. I forgot to turn it in. I'm not going to tell anybody. They won't. They'll never figure. They won't. There won't be a problem.
No, there won't be an
Oops.
issue.
There won't be an
no.
issue.
You know
Oops.
what it is? The lawyer is. Have you seen that Lexus commercial where the guy is getting into his car and he drops all of his papers and they blow all over the place? He's the
Yes.
lawyer on this case.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
They actually turned the lawyer's oops into a commercial.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
It's
why they
like,
didn't have all the paperwork
yep.
in the right order.
Yeah.
There we go. So that makes absolute sense.
It
Yeah.
does.
And
But
on it,
it's very hard. It's got to be very hard for lawyers. I feel sorry for entertainment lawyers. We live in such a litigious society
hmm
Oh,
that
wait a minute. Time out. Time out. You're not allowed to use them big words on the show because I don't understand them.
everybody wants to sue someone else.
Ah, okay.
yeah.
And it's got to be driving entertainment lawyers mad. You've got one trying to get Shia LaBeouf off for having a rant against a bartender who cut him off.
hmm
I mean, I'm not trying to imply that Shia LaBeouf is anything other than an upstanding citizen, but maybe he had one too many.
Again, that's not
And
our judgment call.
yeah, it's always the bartender's judgment call. If the bartender decides you've had enough to drink, the bartender has every right to say, "I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off."
Unless they got physical.
He didn't. Got physical,
Exactly.
pounded on the bar, called the bartender a racist.
Okay.
Well, expletive deleted racist,
Wow.
and suddenly finds himself at the wrong end of a lawsuit and says, "But I was exercising my free speech."
Yeah, but what did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got West Virginia going after what's his name on HBO, the This Week in the News guy, or
Yeah.
This Week's News Tonight, whatever the show's called. I don't have HBO anymore. How soon I forget.
I don't know. I don't have cable either.
But West Virginia has him in a lawsuit for something he said about coal mining.
Yes.
You know, their argument
I
is that
know.
he was directly addressing situations in West Virginia, but their argument also says that he was addressing the entire world. And it's like, well, you can't have it both ways.
Yes. Apparently you can if you're in Hollywood.
Apparently.
And in France.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there's an entire page in of articles on this week's
Litigations.
or litigations on this week's Hollywood Reporter website. It's
Yep.
nothing but lawsuits.
Yes. Welcome to the 21st century.
When does it get to be too much?
When when we've gotten to be such a sensitive society that everything must require, kid gloving. That's when it got to be too much.
When all of
I
a
think
sudden everything had to be
politically
politically
correct.
correct. Yes.
Just the yes.
I love another subject
And
that we had talked about on Friday.
yeah.
Yes, the
Yes.
politically correct.
By the way, I agree with Bill Brooks 100%. It's going to kill comedy.
Yes.
It already has.
It already has, really.
Right.
I mean, there are very few good comedies left on television.
Yeah. Well, and which brings us to a very interesting second article that is actually on a happier subject. And one
And
that
it happens to be about television. Did you like the way I worked
yes,
that segue in?
I love that segue. Now, this one is going to be one that actually is going to make everybody smile and feel hopeful because we're having now a great burst of first-time directors and first-time TV directors specifically. They say first-time TV director diversity significantly improves. This is a study, and this one was also in the Hollywood Reporter. So, no, it was not only full of lawsuits, people. You can read it for other things, too.
Yes. Oddly enough.
Yes. So
there are no lawsuits in television, only in movies, apparently.
Exactly. And so we're seeing signs of meaningful improvements as Directors Guild Union President Thomas Schlamme. And please say sorry, Thomas, if I bastardized your last name, but I hope it's Thomas Schlamme. And it's like basically that they're saying that in the third quarter, 72% Caucasian and 2/3 of them, 68%, were male. In 2000, from 2009, 2016 has done a percentage of women nearly tripling according to the ratings by the union, and still the most recent cohort has still been 3/4 male Caucasians.
I have to think they meant. I have to think they meant report there, because cohort makes no sense in that sentence.
I know. It's kind of like compute.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's like we compute the cohort.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, makes sense to me.
Yes. And it's like the Guild also criticized the practice by allowing series stars, writers, and producers and crew to direct episodes, since most of them don't go on to direct other series, according to the study. But I will say that, in terms of this is something to celebrate, because they say 56 or 25% of all first-time hires in 2016 were ethnic minorities. There was 73% at 73, which is 32% more women, up from 38, i.e. 24% in prior years, and 18 of those, which meaning 8% of them were actually minority females. So really, it's like minorities are also up, and the male. So even though it's still very much a male-dominated world, a lot of first-time directors and people of ethnicities are being hailed up in there. So I mean, slowly but surely, our diversity is changing, and it's basically at an all-time high. There's 225 directors. Never before in public episodic DGA contracts were hired by studios, networks, producers, representing about 42%, increasing from freshman TV directors in previous seasons. So it's a great time to be a first-time director out there and make your mark. Perhaps your mark may have to start in TV if you're a first-time director.
It's kind of looking that way. You can make your mark even if your name's Bob.
Yep.
Yep.
Very true. And then
but what's going to be interesting to see now is how many of these diversity directors go on, to have careers directing in television.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, yay, it's good, but still, you got almost 3/4, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, still about 3/4 are Caucasian and 2/3 are men.
Yes.
So,
But the world is starting to balance out its world. Just, what they say, we got to celebrate the little things.
No, it's good. But, you got to celebrate the small victories, absolutely. But let's just hope it's not a victory in a battle and losing the war, because let's face it, these men that are doing it, they're the ones that are being used over and over and over again, and the freshman directors are not necessarily. I think it's great that the Directors Guild is requiring them to attend, I guess like an orientation session.
Yes.
To understand the intricacies of the system and everything, so that they go in there knowing what they're doing. I think that might help a lot in creating longevity for them.
One of the nice
positions.
Absolutely, definitely. And one of the nice things is also the fact that they are going so strongly into diversification.
Yes.
And into hiring minorities, as well as also hiring diverse groups. It's like what it will also do is it's going to increase as well for all of us in the industry having different voices. that are part of episodes. And this is something also I would say is a good shot in the arm for television, whose fields, even though they've been very strong, they've been even stronger than some other fields. It's like I would say because the study has also taken place over this long period of time, to which they have said literally that 66% were series affiliated hires, meaning that they were already affiliated with the series in a different capacity as well. 28% were career track directors, meaning they were unaffiliated with the program. So even the fact that it's like there are new unaffiliated people who were not in different categories and happen to have gotten their shot as director in there, it's kind of a little bit, makes you smile.
Yeah.
And the fact that
Although
they're
I felt that the
acknowledging.
article was kind of making the implication that part of the reason why the male Caucasian number is still so high is because of the people who are already working with the series getting to direct. A lot of them happen to be male Caucasians.
Yes.
And perhaps if they discontinued that practice a little bit, I'm not saying don't give these people their chance, their shot at it.
Yes.
But if they maybe try to curtail that a little bit, we might be able to get even more diversity
Yes.
going.
It would be nice to see more diversity in the industry. And like I said, what it will do for television and other mediums as well is it will give different, as film is starting to also get diversified too, it's kind of nice and refreshing to see different voices being heard. It's nothing against the regime that still is there, but it's kind of nice to see different voices and hear different thoughts and opinions from them as well. Just have something interesting.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Yeah, it's
You've
nice.
been awfully quiet about this, there, Mister.
Yeah, well, I was just getting
So,
ready to say it's nice now that all the voices in my head can actually speak and be heard. I don't have to like keep muting all the voices in my head now.
Yes.
I can let them speak free.
Yes. They can be released. And honestly, it's like all it's going to do is enhance a lot of these shows by having, like, again, people who are first timers as well. A lot of people, when they look at first time directors, first time writers, stuff like that, they automatically judge it like, oh Lord, oh goodness, because it's like it's not somebody who they're used to. Well, I hate to tell you this, but sometimes having those fresh voices are the things that get you the Academy Awards, that get you noticed in television, that get you the audience, because these people are creating a voice that people want to hear.
Right, and their first time, in other words, you have your seasoned directors and writers and all that, and they kind of get into the sort of a groove how they do things, and bringing in these first time people will bringing these first timers are like going, hey, let's shake it up a little bit, let's do this or this or this with the
Yeah.
they have fresh ideas, and maybe their ideas may not all their ideas may not work well, but at least there is some change and they're trying something different. And you have like a seasoned director that, and the first time director does something, didn't quite, have a fresh idea, didn't quite work right. The seasoned director might look at it and go, you know, that would have worked better if we'd have done this instead of that.
Yep.
And you get to two of it, and then you have the seasoned director, the first time director, and they're going kind of working together, and they're like, wow. Then the next thing that comes out, or the next show that comes out, is
Yep.
just really, they really knock it out of the park because the old and the new collaborated and came up with something really good.
Yep.
So I
And
see
that
it as
has happened.
I see it as a win for everybody. Yeah, there's going to be some like, oh my gosh, they actually aired that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's like I think it's going to be a good thing. Get all these new people in there, get some fresh ideas, and then like I said, old and new collaborate
Yep.
together, and you wind up with a great thing.
Yes. It's really going to change the face of television if they continue on this trend, because it's going to bring life to a lot of shows that, you know, are pretty much on a bubble of being just about, even though they have an audience,
Right.
not quite as exciting any longer as they used to be.
Well, and for me, it's going to be so great for me to actually let all the voices out
It
because it was
will.
starting to get really crowded in there.
It was. It's like, all of a sudden, like those voices, they're gone.
Well, no, they're still there, but they're just not. Since they can get out, they're it's not as noisy inside the head because the voices can get out now.
Cool. Yeah. So yes, please television continue on with this trend because it is a great trend to go on, and I highly recommend that we give new talent a chance, because you know what, you might be betting on the biggest winning horse that you've ever seen by taking in a new voice. It may be sometimes safer than going with one that's already been there in a lot of ways too. Fresh new perspective, fresh new voice. Chance to earn back your return on your investment, perhaps. Just
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
Go be.
Yeah. So, which brings us to an interesting third and final topic tonight in terms of our segues. As you know, every year we have our Hollywood Scam show. It has been tradition for us. Every year we expose new and happy scams for the season. So why should the season be any different?
Yeah, they still haven't proved they still haven't proven whether mine was or wasn't yet.
Yep. And this one is now on a LinkedIn article. So we go to a different place. And this article was published September 26th, and the author is Gino Scala. So for all of those members of the audience who want to yell at somebody, they can yell at Gino Scala for this one. It's the Ask the Script Doctor Mentor number 17, Consultants, Scam Artists, and Literary Managers. Ooh and ah. So
Yeah.
Well,
so now
You just love controversy.
I do.
You thrive on it.
the article and it starts off. I sent a script to a producer about 2 weeks ago. A burning question, and me as we were emailing back and forth for a week or so, and as soon as he got the script, he stopped responding.
Oh no.
So then I wrote him 3 days after to be sure he got the email. And it was almost 2 weeks and nothing. I mean, is that normal, or trying not to be paranoid and seem distrustful, but sudden stop of communicating is really jarring. You know, the script in earlier versions are registered with LOC and it's like GAE. I'm not used to dealing with industry people, so I mean, is it normal?
Yes.
Is it normal?
Yes, yes, it is normal. And the fact that your script is registered with WGAE means you're protected. They can't steal it from you.
Yeah. And yeah, what's not normal is the back and forth conversations. Well, okay. Now this is where Gino and I have got an interesting differing on that point of view. It is important to understand for the script person who is reading that to understand what your story is, but not to grill you about it before they've signed any agreements to see it. Because they could be trying to take idea, Or they could simply be asking, wanting to know that. And yes, silences are normal. It's like, sometimes it could take much longer. You're forgetting. Producers get tons of scripts. Trust me, they get more scripts than they can actually read. And maybe you're number 50 in a deck of scripts that they have. And I'm sorry, but you know what? It's like sometimes you can be delayed because maybe the reader hasn't given them the coverage, because a lot of agencies have readers for professional coverage.
Right.
Other times it might be that they're just not having a good time with it. So, or they want to read it again to make sure that they got all the nuances. Some of them, they give it to readers because they have just too many scripts and they need somebody to synopsize it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when that happens, they'll have more than one reader read it.
Exactly.
Right.
So
they can get different viewpoints.
So yes, coverage can take a long time, even if you're doing a script analysis in regards to that, because they have to have more than one opinion. Because otherwise, what if it's a slanted opinion? That person is not into sci-fi movies, and you wrote a great sci-fi movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you have to find somebody who, it's like you have to get somebody who likes the genre, somebody who doesn't like the genre. And really, get them both to read it and give their opinions on it. Because it's like the one who doesn't like the sci-fi genre may still find something that they loved about it. Not the genre itself, but something that they found. Maybe the one who absolutely loves sci-fi is like, oh my God, this is just totally boring. Why am I reading this script?
Right.
Or it could be, again, I hate the genre, so therefore I hate everything about the script. I hate the plots. I hate the characters. Why the hell did you send me this?
Right. So, ready for the next question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Hey, TSM. Hope you're doing well. How did you come to realize that Screenwriting U and screenwriting staffing, etc., were sham and scam sites? What about them tipped you off?
And I love I gotta say, I love the beginning of this response.
Yes.
Where Gino very specifically insists and points out, makes the observation, first of all, it's only my opinion.
Yeah.
And that of many others.
Yeah.
And I've known for years now. Well, it's kind of hard not to know that they're rip-off people when they ripped you off personally for $3,600, right, Gino? Yeah. So, I mean, he's writing from experience, gang.
Well, and again, it's like another one that you have to kind of look at is, again, if they want an upfront fee. Have we not talked about this one before in our Hollywood scam shows? And please go back to our Hollywood scam shows, people, because we are giving you valuable advice. If they're asking you for an upfront fee for looking at your scripts and stuff like that, they're not legit.
Yeah. Surprise!
And selling your information too? It's like, no, then they are not legit. And selling, okay, now there is a difference. Selling courses, you have to weigh out your courses of what you're going to. You can go to somebody who is qualified to do it, or you can go to Trump University to do it. Oh, sorry, he doesn't exist anymore. Or some other person who's not qualified to teach. So when it comes down to that, find out the qualifications of the person who you're thinking of taking their course before you shell out money for their courses. If they're actually in the industry and doing it, yeah, you want to probably learn from them. If there's somebody who said, "Oh, I read a few books and then I therefore think that I can teach this," Stay away. Chances are you could probably read the same books that they did and feign the same knowledge.
As a matter of fact, a lot of these scam artists, I mean, they're just giving you stuff that you can find online for free,
Yeah.
and they're charging you $1,500 to $2,000 for it.
Yes. People like ourselves, we're professionals in the industry. We've been here. We went through the trenches. If we're giving you information, it's because we've been there.
Yeah,
We live it.
every day.
Yes,
And it's scary.
it is. So,
That's why I have all the voices in my head.
yep. So, Olaf, would you like to read out the third one?
No, too scary. No.
I just want to make one other point about this last one.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, you know you're dealing with a bogus situation when the person who's ripping you off, their own family, help you file the legal documents.
Yeah.
That's like, boy, talk about your super red flag. Woo!
Yes.
Yeah, that would be red flag. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Another dramatic reading, sir.
Yes. I have utilized Full Sail for career development purposes and some consultation, but I value your opinion. Screenwriting consultants and services is where I've had some of my real world hard knocks. I gather producers' names, their companies, and their specialities with the limited resources at my disposal. While nurturing whatever relationship I can establish here and on other platforms.
Okay. To which we say, Arpo, would you like to have the response that they use?
Well, let's put it this way. If their job today is being a consultant and not writing, unless they're retired, of course, and they don't have an impressive body of work in their past, they're frauds.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In other words, again, check the credentials of who you are dealing with. If they do not have a body of work on there, and there's this thing called IMDb Pro, which will list all of their credits. There is IMDb. There is many resources out there, including also asking things like the Writers Guild of members and stuff, and finding out what they have in copyright. It's like, don't presume. It's like you can find out if they are registered under any credits or anything. Again, check out the person when you are asking them to be a consultant. Are they actually able to consult? Do they know anything about the subject? If you can't find their body of work online and you can't find their name in the credible sources like IMDb and all of that, or in places, even if you can't find it on IMDb, if you can't find it through professional resources, chances are that they're really not doing what they said that they're doing. Because they have to be listed somewhere in some professional resource.
So you mean that someone like Hal Krosman isn't listed on IMDb? I find that difficult to believe. That man's been doing screenwriting classes for 15 years.
Yes.
Admittedly, he hasn't changed a word of it in 15 years, and he keeps adding new levels and charging more money. But here we go. Hey, Hal Krosman.
Yeah. So therefore,
he's in here. He's in here. Wow, he's got one credit as a writer, Loneliness is Soul, which is a video. Is it too late to get my money back?
Probably, and I would never. And again, bottom line is check also with if he's actually listed, because sometimes IMDb has so many submissions they can't verify they verify as much as they possibly can, but they still double check.
Yes.
with the Writers Guild and stuff.
Notice that there is no bio, no trivia,
Yep.
nothing about him. Just a list of things that I've never heard of. The Blackoscope show with Teddy Lane Jr. the second.
Oh, I
Maybe
love that show.
it wasn't it a YouTube sensation?
No, it was Me Too.
Okay, it was Me Too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to go on to the next one, Olaf?
Well, first, wait a minute now.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let's give credit where credit is due, because Hal Croasman has won Gino Scala's Golden Douchebag. Let's hear it for Hal Croasman. Yeah!
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Back to the old dog pound.
It's like, all right, next question. Dear the script mentor, thank you for posting Debunking Script Writing Myths. I have found it so enlightening to me. I would appreciate if you would include me in your list of LinkedIn contacts.
See, now that's a really nice thing that,
Mhm.
Gino is being asked to do that. And that's why, Gino, we are highlighting you tonight. Because we think that that's a really nice thing of what you're doing, of being very informative for people.
That's
And
right.
you know what? You can look up the LinkedIn article yourself to find out that, because we're not advertising that unless you want us to. And then you have to come on the show.
That's right. So there. He does have a blog on a
Yep.
very popular blogs
Yep.
site.
Yeah. That we won't advertise.
That we won't advertise. Because we
want
want him
him
to come here
Yeah.
and tell us all about it.
Yes.
Because he knows. He really, really knows.
Yep. So, do you want to go on to the next one, Olaf?
Yeah. Hi, TSM. I read your post about the guy pitching you straight off the bat, and I have to confess, I cringed a little. I thought,
Ooh.
God, was that me as well? I finished the script of the short story I wrote, and now I have a couple of questions. At this time of the year, which are the best screen competitions to enter my new script? Also, can I ethically and legally submit a script to a producer if it's still under option? The option has nearly expired and the producer won't be picking it up again.
No, you have to wait for it to expire.
Well, actually, he hedges a little bit. He says that it is both ethical and legal to start marketing again unless the option agreement prohibits it, and most do.
Yes. Well, that's why I'm saying no. I'm calling no on that one. Because even if it does not legally say that you cannot option it to other people, if you've been paid for your option to option it legally, it's belonging to that person until the option expires. Option may never expire. If they become a co-writer, obviously that's a different situation altogether. But again, one of the things must reiterate is no, don't. It's like, even if you have a 6-month agreement, if the producer chooses not to re-option it for whatever reason, again, you have to wait for the 6 months. It's an unfortunate thing, but it's an ethical thing. Because if another producer is interested in it, and 6 months down the road, you come to them and you're like, okay, I just had an option that's finished. I don't want to renew my option with this producer. I want to renew it with you. You got the right to do that.
Yeah.
Or if the producer wants to renew the option, why wouldn't you give them the opportunity? They may say that now, 6 months from now, they may sit there and go, you know what, this wasn't really so half bad. Maybe I might renew it for another 6 months. Or because they've been working their ass off and just didn't get it produced within that time period that you expected, it still should be given as an option to renew the option on their part before you start shopping.
Well, I think Gino kind of sums it up when he says, for him, the bottom line is it's ethical and legal until it isn't.
Yes.
Right.
But he says, if you're talking less than a month, then the odds are it's not going to overlap, and
yeah,
he would take the chance.
Interesting. See, if somebody was approaching me with their work and it's been already optioned, I would probably say to them, just for ethical purposes, either you want me to hold it for a month and I won't touch it. At that point, I won't even look at it to read it. I will get back to you in a month's time when the option is free, or I know that you've told me it's free and clear. Or the other thing is I would just say, you know what, come back to me when the option is done and it's free and clear for me to take a look at. I don't want to step on another producer's toes either, because that can cause also bad blood in an industry.
Yes, it can. It can.
So we have another very interesting question. Go for it, Olaf.
Olaf.
Yes. That pesky mute button. I hate that thing.
Wake up, grandfather clock.
Oh, okay.
Now,
question. What? Where are we at? I'm sorry.
A producer recently asked if I wanted to meet for coffee. Yes.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah. A producer recently asked if I wanted to meet for coffee to discuss my work, and when I pointed out I lived in Canada, he replied, "Exactly. If you were serious about writing, or serious about a writing career, you'd be here." I must confess that my daydreams extend to wondering what it would be like to visit LA on the back of purchased screenplay. Until that day, I'll keep pulling on my body armor at work and do my level best not to get shanked.
So he's apparently in prison?
Evidently.
Wow.
He works in a prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like he would be working in prison.
Yeah, because I don't think they give the prisoners body armor.
Body armor, no.
No. So basically, in this particular situation, first of all, I agree with Gino that the guy is an effing dick.
Yes.
No, you do not need to be in Hollywood to have your screenplay noticed. What you need is a literary agent, or a representative, or a lawyer that will submit the script for you. You need a legal representation, or a producer that you would like, or targeted to a producer or to a company. Again, many, many things. You need to copyright first. There's plenty of things that are produced in Canada, New York, the rest of the world, London. Surprisingly, you don't have to live there. You know, it's like, he gives a good example. Cody Diablo sold Juno from Minnesota. So, yeah. He should go to the same school as the moron who said to me the very first time that I had talked about having a screenplay and thinking of directing it, what kind of effing idiot are you for wanting to do that? If I would have listened to that person, I would not be where I am today.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta not listen to who you think you should listen to, and yeah, tough call sometimes.
Yep, you do your research.
Right. Do the due diligence.
But yeah, I would say that that producer had absolutely no interest in the script. He was just trying to get somebody to take him out,
Yes.
buy him drinks or dinner or whatever, and then say, "Whoa, by the way, here's your script back. I hated it,
Yeah,
but thanks for dinner. Bye."
exactly. And again, that's no better than the Page Ostros of this world who ask you $1,500 to pitch a script or
Yes.
$2,500. Saying to somebody that you need to move to a different location to be able to make it as a writer or make it as a screenplay or make it as anything in the industry is, and it's like, it's stupid. Let's just put it that it or ignorant, whichever way you want to put this. If you are talented, you will make it to where you need to be. But yeah, on the back of a produced screenplay is the key. That means that the person, it's exactly as you said, Arpo, really wasn't interested in the script in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, ladies and gentlemen, listen to the words carefully. You don't need to be in LA to sell a script.
Exactly.
LA is one place, and I'm not saying that they are not a wonderful place, but there are many places in the world that do film that are just as successful.
Yes, and today with the worldwide interweb, you can be anywhere and write. You
Yes,
don't. It's like, are you going to have better chances if you were in L.A. or somewhere, New York or somewhere where there's a lot of it going on? Possibly,
possibly.
but like I said, with the internet, you can be anywhere.
Yeah.
That's right.
And once
And
again, I will reiterate literary agent, lawyer.
Hmm.
Just not the lawyers who've been handling this other case.
Right. Well, like you said, this show, our show, is a prime example. In other words, you're in one state, I'm in another state, Arpo's in another state, and I don't think any of us are any closer than 1,200 miles to each other.
Nope.
1,000, 1,200 miles apart, all three of us
Yep.
each way. So, like I
And
said, literally, you can
yep.
be anywhere and do this stuff.
And 26 million strong, 26,000 people strong and growing.
and I would
Didn't you
just
be
like to
26
point out that
million?
I am constantly in a state of confusion.
Yes. So there you go.
Tell them.
All right, Bo, would you love to go for the next question?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Now I think this is like a whole conversation thing happening here. So we're gonna let what's his name? Oh yeah, Olaf. You're
Yeah,
gonna
let's
be
do this,
Gino.
Olaf.
You're gonna be Gino. I'm going to be the guy, the man. I've got a new project. I wanted to get your opinion. Tell me what you think. I also have a video and TV streaming service. Just finished filming in Flint, Michigan about water crisis. Also, an Ultimate Fighting reality TV project we're filming. I have a treasure hunting show. We have 3 seasons of footage already done. Looking for a reality show on mud racing and the crazy family that owns many other businesses involved. I got something you will be interested in and something for everyone. Do you mind if I send the sizzle to you? Thanks. If you can't do anything with it, can you forward it to others, please? I also have other TV and movie and music projects going on. Also have a cannabis educational video company we're turning into a 30-minute show traveling across the world to 420 sites. Email, I'll send info. Thanks for your time.
Okay. There's a lot of information here in this cut and paste form letter. Hmm. Not sure what it is exactly you're looking for. Are you hiring me to do something for you? I'm not sure what we've even ever chatted or sent prior messages before this, so it's somewhat a blast out of the blue. If you would, please clarify your expectations. Thanks.
Oh, thanks for your time, Gino. Here you go. Here's another link.
Okay.
Did
Wait,
you even read my message to you? You didn't answer my question. I realize you're a very busy professional and it's easy just to send attachments to save time. But you should really read the message and at least try to answer the questions first before sending attachments without NDAs and such.
Gino, I appreciate you looking at my project. I have other projects. Hey, can you also forward your connects?
I I never clicked on any link and will not be forwarding anything to anyone else. Stay off the blog while you're trying to
That's
trend.
bong, dude. That's bong. Stay off the
Oh,
bong.
stay off the bong. Stay off the bong. Well, see, that's like I don't even know. It's like stay off the bong while you're trying to transact business.
Yes. First of all, you should be clear-headed all the time before you do business with people. Second,
Yeah,
okay, I am
that's
bombarded.
I've
Yeah.
never seen anything so messed up in my life as that guy's first
And it's still going on.
message. Yeah,
Wow.
Go ahead.
it's just
We still got another Q&A there. Go ahead. Let's do the last two Q&A after that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow. It's like, okay. Yes. I will now become the person who is sitting there and saying, "Yes, I am looking for a literary agent for my script. The agencies will not accept my unsolicited scripts. I have several scripts, and I want to submit them to Apple and Netflix, but they will not accept my scripts from a writer, only an agent. What do I do?"
oh
Oh,
god,
take
that's the
take up a
saddest thing I think I've ever heard.
it's like you take up a painting class and get out of script writing.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
The answer. Okay. The basic reason why you can't get an agent is because you're not ready for an agent. Netflix, don't know about Apple, has
Yeah.
open submissions at times, and you won't need representation.
Yes, that's called contests, in case
Yeah,
anybody was wondering.
you, you never really do unless you're submitting scripts to studios, which is foolish to begin with. Six studios, 25,000 producers, which are you going to choose to target? Agents find you, and they do. It's like, and when they do that when you're making money at your writing enough to where they can make a living off of your 10 to 15%.
In other words, start doing spec work
Hmm.
to get your
And
name out there.
your script is in a bidding war.
Hmm.
You need to concentrate on getting a literary manager. Their job is to manage your career and get it to the point where you can get an agent, to which they have the inroads and connections. They do this by helping you promote certain scripts, submit them to their connections, perhaps even produce them themselves, since they can. I've done some homework for you and provided a few links to some articles for you to review. I hope they prove helpful.
Which again, we will not read off these articles. You must find this article by yourself. And
And that concludes the Q&A from the script mentor.
okay. Another thing that you have to also understand is that just because you have a script does not necessarily mean that automatically a script manager or a literary manager is going to find you as well. One of the things that you need to do, first of all, is a query letter to a literary manager. Another thing that you might want to try and do is do a reading where you invite literary managers to come and listen to your work. I know that this sounds wacky, but an open reading can sometimes lead to people going, hey, so what else do you got? Or another thing is boldly going through, again, a lawyer to find you a literary manager that will take a look at your work. Because they don't, just because somebody says that they can do it doesn't mean that they will do it or that they have an interest in your script. But only a query letter will help you know this. And nobody wants to be plopped a 100-page script onto their lap and say, here, read this and represent me. Try writing a query letter. If they go, hey, that sounds kind of interesting, the subject, then you can go a step further. So there you go. Some fun little doodads. Now, Gino, thank you very much for your amazing article. And there's more on that article as well. So once again, I encourage you to find it. And he's got some interesting little doodads there, Gino. And perhaps you might want to link with him on LinkedIn or any of the other places that he's in.
But we won't tell you those other places unless he comes on the show.
No.
So you must find him and tell him that he needs to come on Movietime.
Yes.
That's right.
So there you go. Now, hopefully, you have all learned something very interesting tonight, including that, we can't have lazy lawyers in this world. And that first-time directors are rocking the world. And yes, scam artists still exist. Sorry, people, but you know what? We had to do the harsh reality show.
Right.
Ooh.
I know.
Reality stinks, man. But I got some really good videos and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let me send you a link to it.
Yes. Well, speaking of sending us a link, so how do they get in touch with you on social media there?
Well, you can stalk me on both Facebook and Twitter at Olaf Barbosa, but just don't stalk too close because I do get nervous and I do have an itchy trigger finger.
Excellent. And Arpo, how do they get you on social media?
Well, if they want to be social, they can reach me on Facebook. If they want to do business, we can talk on LinkedIn. Or if you just want to chat, hey, Skype me. I like chatting. Chatting is good. It's healthy for you. Just
you have no time to chat.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that the next time you tie me up on the phone for 3.5 hours.
Okay. There you go.
Chat away.
Yes.
Hey, no,
Chat
because
away
you're...
with me on
Yeah, there you
Skype.
go.
Just make sure you let me know that you're a fan of Movietime because I get way too many offers from Armenian women who want to marry me and robots who want my charge card numbers.
Yes. And also, soon enough, what site are you also on? Say it out loud and say it proud.
Say it loud, say it proud.
What site am I also on?
www.
Past Lives Productions Inc. Net.
Excellent. Woo! Say it loud and
NeatNet.
say it proud.
NeatNet. I've
That's
never heard of
right.
NeatNet.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an net. It's well, that's because we got Maxine to clean up, even if she has torn up about WC. But you know what? It's been a great 2 weeks.
There you go.
How
And
about you, Grayson?
well, it's like for me, you can get me on LinkedIn, Wikipedia, on Facebook, on Twitter at Sonata Grayson, and Movietime Indie. Apparently, I've gotten up to 38 people on my Sonata Grayson one. So keep going, people. Follow me, follow me, follow me. And,
Yeah!
yeah. Also on www.pastlifeproductionsinc.net, as well as you can also find me again on about 4 pages of internet, and you will be finding me soon, and all of us soon at the AFM and also at our gala. We feel free to go ahead onto Eventbrite for What Did She Say for the gala. And also, we have a new Indiegogo campaign that we'll be launching very soon through From the Heart Productions. So for all of those who wanted to know, please contact us for the information. And thank you very much. Also, a shout out I'm giving you to Robin. Hey, Robin, thank you for interviewing us. And we will be on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So it's called the Mad Tea Show. And it is hosted by Robin and also Roxana. So please check in with us and definitely check out the show.
Oh,
So
that Robin. I thought you were friends with Batman's sidekick.
I know, but she rocks so much better than that other Robin.
I suppose.
She does. So, and as I always say, with 4 pages of footprint, if you can't find me, you're just not stalking me hard enough. And feel free to also check out our new posters and videos on our website. And with that being said, we will see you on the Friday show.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's someone at the door. Bum bum bam.